Good morning, guys. Ryan from Husky Moving here, Arlington, Massachusetts, serving the greater Boston area. We are a full-serving residential commercial moving company. We do handyman jobs, we do artwork mounting, TV mounting, we do disposal, we do home repair, handyman type stuff. We do switching out like light plumbing fixtures, stuff like that. If it involves the house, we try to get it done. Want to do a quick video. My dog just showed up. Just gonna try to grab her to get her in the video. Nope, she doesn't want to be grabbed right now. Come here. Come here. That's my girl Ghosty. She's the best. Want to do a quick video because I had a job yesterday where I showed up to do to get the house ready for staging. Is a real estate friend of mine in Arlington that has me come over and do a lot of work when she's getting ready to put a house on the sale. Sale, you know what I'm saying? House on the market for sale. I'm distracted by this cuteness. I can't even take it. She want to get the house on the market for sale. So I go over. I do all like the little minutia shit that needs to get it ready. So one of the things they asked me to do yesterday that I thought about was there was a window that was kind of broken. It wasn't broken. It was a pretty typical situation. If you're familiar with these windows, the newer style windows and how they work, it's pretty typical. I'm going to try to go through this real quickly and explain what was going on. It's a little awkward if you're not actually here doing it, but I'll try to explain it as best I can. The reason why I wanted to do this was because there was a time in my life where like I never wanted to touch windows because they freaked me out. You know, like I didn't know how they worked. They went up and down. That's about as much as I knew. And when they weren't going up and down, I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to get involved. The problem is if you're in the moving business, or if you're in a lot of businesses, but specifically the moving business, oftentimes you have to take out windows if you're doing hoists. You have to take out windows if you need to pass a couch or like an armoire or something through a window, which happens pretty often. It's something like if you're trying to go into these older style houses that we have in Massachusetts, specifically where I live, a lot of times the furniture has outgrown the house itself, and so people are trying to get these massive pieces of furniture into houses that weren't designed for this type of furniture. And so what that means is popping the windows out. Sometimes you got to go through a window. Sometimes you got to hoist stuff. You know, I've done hoists before where I was hoisting sleeper sofas up to a third floor window. And so you have to remove the window because if you get a sleeper sofa up to the third floor outside of a building and you haven't taken every inch of space out of the window and you get it up there and it doesn't fit, now you have to redo all your work. You got to lower it down. You got to do it all over again. So you have to know how to take out windows. You have to know how to do it quickly, efficiently, not damage the window. So this is an important skill for anyone in the moving business to have, and actually there's probably a lot of trades that this is important. And then the other thing, just for homeowners, like the guy yesterday had no idea how his windows work. He didn't want to touch it, so this window had been broken for a long time, and it was actually a relatively simple fix. He just didn't know how to do it, which, you know, I wouldn't expect anyone to if you're not used to it. So I'm going to try to go through this real quickly and explain how these things work. So bear with me here. I'm by myself filming, so this is going to be a little challenging. All right, so I got double hung windows. I'm going to take the phone out real quick. Like many houses, I got the double hung windows. So now this is the bottom part, the top part. The way they work is they have these little latches on the side. Each side has a latch on it where my finger is. You pull the latch in towards the middle of the window, and it allows the window top to come out of the frame. Okay, so this is pretty easy. Most people know how to do this because that's how you clean the windows. So that happens, you can do that on the top or the bottom of the window. So this isn't really the issue. What the issue is how these mechanisms work. So inside the window, where my finger is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little string right here, a tension string. And then there's a little plastic mechanism in there and a little metal hook. So basically what it is it's like a little cup, like a receiving cup that the metal hinge pin that's attached to the window sits in. The problem is that sometimes these will come out of the receiving cup, and if it comes out of the receiving cup, now you don't have the connection to pull the window up, okay? So bear with me here. I'm going to try to do this with one hand, but you see there's one here, and there's one on the other side of the window. So the way you remove the window, theoretically, hopefully this works, is you come up with one side, and you gently remove the window. You got to go easy whenever you're doing this. But now I have the window in my hand. It's out of the frame. My windows are disgusting. I haven't cleaned, clearly. But now that this is removed, you should be able to see a little bit better. Sorry, I turned my phone. You should be able to see a little better where my finger is. There's a circular. I'm going to call it a cup. I don't know what it's actually called. See how there's a little indentation there? See this pin? This metal pin? Nope, sorry, I'm pointing at the wrong thing. See this metal pin? That sits in there. So this goes in there and sits in there. And if you look at it, it's hard to tell. But if you look at it, the pin itself is like an oval. And the receiving cup here, whatever this thing is called, is also an oval, so it has to go in a very specific orientation. The problem yesterday, what was going on was the pin had come out of one of the cups, so it was sitting in one of the cups, it wasn't in the other one, and so the guy was trying to pull it up. It didn't have both tension wires on it, and so it wasn't pulling the window up. It's hard to explain. It doesn't really matter. The point of the story is the window wasn't working the way it needed to do. So all we need to do is take the window out the same way I just did. I took the window out. I adjusted the receiving cup thing, whatever the hell that thing's called, up so it was at the same level as the other one. Got them both back into the cup. And then once it connected and I rotated the window into the cup that was supposed to be in there, it was working fine. It was actually a simple fix. The guy just didn't know how to do it. So I'm going to try to do this right now. And I'm going to pre-warn you guys, these windows have not been cleaned or messed with in a while because this is in my back room on my sun porch, so I don't mess with them too often. So I'm hoping this goes back in smooth, because if it doesn't, I'm going to look like a moron, obviously. The way you want to do this is you take one window, you kind of want to go in at an angle. And it can be a little awkward, so bear with me. Alright, so I don't know if you noticed me whacking on the window. I was gently like pushing down with my hand. The reason why I was doing that was because one of the cups wasn't engaged. What I was trying to do was gently knock the window down into the cup, like force it into the cup. And it was hard to tell in the video, I'm sure, but the window needs to go in at 90 degrees, obviously. To get the window into the two cups, you have to put it in a little bit cockeyed. So you put it in a small angle. So when you go in there, it's not going in perfectly flat. It's going in like this. One side's going in a little bit up. The other side's going in a little bit down. And what happens is once you get it in the two cups, I'm going to use my hand and whack this side down so it flattens out. It needs to be flat to extend it back up into the frame at a 90-degree angle, because the frame is 90 degrees. The window needs to be at 90 degrees too. If it's not, you're going to break, or you could break a part of the window. So I'm going to whack, when this is on level, I'm going to whack down on the side, getting it to flat, and then once it's flat, just check my edges, see if it looks 90 degrees, and gently push it back up into the frame. And hopefully if the two connecting cups have caught on the piece, Now the window is going up and down perfectly smooth. It seems complex. It's not at all. It's one of those things. It's like anything else. You do it the first couple times, you start to understand how all these mechanisms work. They all work kind of the same way. You just have to make sure that the window itself, which has the metal clip hanging off the side of it, that clip is shaped in a certain way. It only fits into the receiving cup in that way. And so if you understand that, meaning if this is shaped like a rectangle and this is shaped like a rectangle, it needs to go in at a certain orientation to receive it. And once it receives it and inside the cup itself, you can then turn it. I'm trying to think of how to explain it. It's almost like a lock where the connecting pin has to go in a certain orientation. And if it goes in a certain orientation, it will allow it to go all the way in. But if it doesn't go in that right orientation, if it goes in cockeyed, it's not going to allow it to go all the way in, which means you're not going to be able to turn the lock. It needs to go in the right way. If it goes in the right way, then you could turn it properly. So if you think about it that way, the window pin has to go in a certain way. It receives it into the cup. Then you can put the window back up into the frame and it will sit. But if you don't get it into that cup in the first place in the right way, everything is haywire. You have to get it in there the right way. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. I know it's a little awkward. Hopefully this will give you a little bit of a confidence to try this yourself. Like anything you're going to do, you're just going to want to do it slow, carefully. Don't push anything. If you feel a lot of resistance on something, that's usually two pieces that something's going wrong. You don't want to do it. Stop what you're doing. It should be pretty smooth. Most of the time, if you're doing it correctly, when you go to put that window up, it feels smooth. It feels like you're doing the right thing. And when you're not, you'll feel it. Like there's resistance, and you would have to push through the resistance to get to where you want to go. That's no good. Don't do that. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if I'm telling you any incorrect information, if there's a better way to do it, leave comments below. Please like and subscribe if you felt there was any value to this video. I would appreciate it, guys. All right, if you want to get a hold of me, my contact information is in the back end of the video, email address and website. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.